Привет, друзья! Как дела? My name is Fedor, and today you will learn how to use these words: дойти, доехать, перейти, переехать, выйти, войти, выехать, въехать, and many more. Or in other words, verbs of motion and how they work with prefixes. The reason why this video is important and you need to know this topic is because there's two special things coming together. First special thing is verbs of motion. We have pairs of words in Russian that would mean the same thing. For example, идти and ходить both mean to go or to walk. Ехать and ездить both mean to drive or to go by driving. Лететь and летать both mean to fly. But why do we have two words that mean the same thing? Well, because this one is going to be directional. We talk about our direction or our movement with this first column. The second column is used for repeating things or things that we do regularly. We may not be flying, driving, going somewhere right now, but we do it regularly. So, two different categories of words for verbs of motion. Regular words in Russian wouldn't have just two different variations of them. Typically, of course, it's just one. But that's the first special thing about this video, is that we have a special category of words, verbs of motion. And the second special thing is that prefixes would work in the same exact way across all verbs of motion. Meaning, if one prefix, let's say it's до, it means to finish doing something or to reach a destination. With all verbs of motion, идти, ехать, летать, and all the rest, it will have the same exact effect of meaning. So with all of these words, it's going to mean to reach your destination. For you to truly understand this video, you have to do two things. Know verbs of motion. If you don't, here's the video for that. And know prefixes basics. If you don't know the basics of prefixes, here's the video for that. But now let's move on to these 7 prefixes. В, вы, до, пере, от, u, and pro. Each of them will carry a unique meaning in Russian, and let's start with the first two, v and вы, because they're going to be the opposite meaning. Идти, to walk, becomes войти, to come in, and ехать, to drive, becomes въехать, to drive in or to enter a certain place or city. So, v, we have a meaning of in, walking in, driving in, flying in, swimming in, running in. All the words, all the verbs of motion with the meaning of in. I can say, я вошел в новый магазин. I entered a new store. So, I physically walked in, I entered that store. Also, I can say, мы въехали в город. We entered the city. We drove in the city. We were outside of it, and now we are inside of the city. Okay, so v is going to have a meaning of in with all verbs of motion, but вы will be the opposite. Идти, to walk, выйти, to exit or to leave, to walk out. Ехать, to drive, выехать, to come out, to drive out of something. So вы is going to be the opposite. It's going to be to exit something, okay? I can say, я вышел из дома. I exited the house. So I was in the house, now I'm outside of it. It doesn't mean that I left the house forever. It simply means that I have exited the house. Not left, just exited. Okay? Выехать. Я выехал из гаража. I drove out of the garage. My car was inside. I drove outside of the garage. So now my car is outside. Вы is going to have a meaning of out. Next is до. Идти, to walk, дойти, to get there by walking or to reach a destination. Ехать, to drive. Доехать means to get there by driving. I can say, я доехал до школы. I drove to the school. So, I was in point A, my point B was the school. Now I drove to the school. I have reached my point B. I have reached my destination. Also, we can say, мы еще не дошли. Подождите, пожалуйста. We didn't walk there yet. We didn't reach our destination yet. Please wait. Okay? You are still on the way. You didn't reach. So, не дошли means we didn't reach the place just yet. So, до is going to have the meaning of to reach your destination. And you might ask, well, what's the difference between я вошел, I entered, and я дошел, I reached my destination, isn't the same exact thing. Well, not always. This one entails that you are now inside of a place. But this one just simply means that you have reached your destination. You might be outside, inside, on top, underneath. It's not specified. So this one is only, with the do prefix, it's only used for reaching our destination, while v is specific to coming in. We already covered 3 prefixes, v, вы, and do, a lot of information. We have 4 more to go, but this is not all the prefixes that we have in Russian. For you to get a full, complete information on prefixes, check out our Master Russian Prefixes course on BFluent class with the first link in the description. We cover all prefixes in Russian with 1 lesson for each, and then we have word lists for you guys to check out and exercises for you guys to complete to solidify your knowledge. So you can truly say that by the end of the course, you will master Russian prefixes. Check that course out along with many more that we have posted for the entirety of VFluent in Russian channel with the first link in the description. It's a subscription-based platform that you can join today and enjoy all the benefits of it today. Moving on. Next prefix is у. Идти, уйти, ехать, уехать. So, if this is to walk and to drive, what does this mean? Уйти means to leave. Уехать means to also leave, but now by driving. So I can say Я ушел из дома в 16 лет. I left the house when I was 16 years old. Meaning, not just exited the house, but left it with no plans to return. Okay? Also, for example, I can say Алексей уже ушел. Приходите завтра. Alexei already left. Come back tomorrow. So, he left the office. He doesn't plan to return anytime soon. He will return the next day. But for today, he is gone. He doesn't plan to come back. He didn't just step out the office to grab some coffee or to go for lunch, but he left to go home, and he's going to return next time. So, this meaning is a bit different than the one that we had with вы. That one was just to exit. This one is to leave completely without any plans to return. It's a bit different. It's a bit more like long term, a bit more serious, I would say. And another example, let's say you had guests staying over at your place. You come home and you don't see their car. They seem to be gone. So you call them. Вы уже уехали? Did you already leave? I wanted to say goodbye, give you the last gift or something. Вы уже уехали? Did you already leave? Meaning, did you already leave without plans to come back? So I'm not gonna see you again, maybe like next year I will see you, but not today. That's the prefix u, very unique meaning, and you guys should use it as well. Next is very similar prefix от. Идти becomes отойти, to step away, by walking of course, and ехать becomes отъехать, to drive off. These two just mean to have some space, to step off a little bit, to drive off a little bit. Not to leave, not to exit, simply create some space. For example, you might be blocking the door and somebody's trying to come in with the grocery bags, and they tell you, отойди от двери, step off the door. Means, here's the door, you step back 2 steps to create some space. Nobody is telling you to leave and go home. Nobody is mad at you. Just simply create some space. Отойди от двери. Similar situation. Let's say you parked somewhere and somebody blocked you. You cannot reverse and leave to go home. So you come, knock on the window and say, отъедьте, пожалуйста. Drive off a little bit, please. So, drive off, I'll come out. I'm not telling you to go home and drive away with this отъедьте. Okay, the prefix от will not have that meaning. It will simply have a meaning of create some space. Drive off, step off. Next prefix is перья. Перья is going to be very distinct. And перья, okay, идти, перейти. Перейти means to cross something, to walk over something. Ехать can become переехать, to drive over something. Перейти через мост, to walk over the bridge. Переехать через мост, to drive over a bridge. So, you drive, you walk over some obstacle. Maybe it's a bridge, maybe it's some twig or something like a tree, I don't know. You just simply drive over, walk over. Now, переехать can be also used in the second meaning like this. Мы переехали на новый дом. We moved to a new house. Переехали here doesn't mean to cross, to come over. Doesn't mean that. It means to move. In fact, переехать in this meaning is going to be more common than to drive over to cross something. Okay? So переехать means to move from one place of living to another. Now, it can also mean to move offices, to move cities, to move states. It can be used for all of those things as well. It's going to be the most common usage of a prefix пере with переехали. The next prefix is a prefix pro. And prefix pro has three distinct meanings. Number one is to complete something. Number two is to go for a certain distance. And number three is to go, drive, fly past something. Let's start with the first one, which is to complete. The verb that is mostly used for this meaning of completion is идти when it becomes пройти. Okay, I can say, нам нужно пройти эту игру. We need to complete this game. This verb loses its motion meaning, right? It's not like we have to walk through this game. It's just simply to complete it. It takes on a new meaning of completion. Пройти эту игру, to complete this game. Other verbs of motion are not too common with this meaning of completion of something, but just so you know, this doesn't have to be actual walking through something. This can be to complete a game, to complete a course. Okay? Next, second meaning is to go for a certain distance. I can say, я прошел 2 километра. I have walked for 2 kilometers. So 2 километра here is the distance that we have walked, and прошел kind of is using that for the second meaning. With another verb is самолет пролетел полпути. The plane has flown for half the distance or half the route. So half the route is a distance, and пролетел, as you can see, or летел is a new verb for us for today. Летел means was flying, and про is used here to talk about, to cover a certain distance. Then the final meaning is to go, drive, fly, swim past something. We can say, твой друг прошел мимо меня. Your friend has walked past me. So, твой друг, your friend, прошел, walk past, or have walked, мимо меня, past me. Прошел here is used to talk about walking past somebody. And that's it. We have covered 7 prefixes today. Here they are on the screen. It's not a complete list of all prefixes in Russian. A complete list is going to be with our Master Russian Prefixes course with this button right here. A lot of useful information there, a lot of great stuff there. Check it out with this button right here, or continue watching our YouTube videos with this button right here. It's up to you.